Maybe that's Laura. Okay, so here we are with our Monday morning SHF project. Laura can't stay long, so Laura, do you want to go ahead and do your stand-up, and then if there's anything we need to talk about with your work?
Okay, perfect. So just in terms of what I've been working on is the Google Analytics, and then looking into the social media reports, if we can add notifications to the Slack channel. So and then my other one was the social media links on the website, which are still not working. So I contacted Susanna. I haven't heard back from her. My blockers are that with the stats, unfortunately, the glance bot that is already being used in Agile Ventures, if we also want to use it in SHF Project, we'll have to upgrade and pay, and I think it's $10 a month. So yeah, that's my report.
Okay, so once you hear from Suzanne, you'll have a little more information, and that will help her too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it will unblock me on 2 of my 3 that I'm working with.
Okay. Is there anything else that any of us can do? I think we're really just waiting for Susanna. She said she'd be back into it on the 1st, which is tomorrow.
Yeah, we're just waiting for her.
Okay. Okay, well, anybody have anything else for Laura?
No, not really.
Yeah. Okay, well, hopefully Susanna will be able to catch up with you starting tomorrow.
Okay, great.
And,
thank you.
We'll see you Thursday-ish.
Fantastic. Have a good evening, everyone.
Okay, you too.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So let's keep going around and doing the quick stand-up with our status. Raphael, do you want to clue us in?
Sure. Well, nothing as declared on Thursday. Nothing's really happened for me, but I am thinking I have added in the Selenium driver. I can kind of check into the new branch. I don't know quite yet how I should be doing that. I've got my own forked repository. Do I push the new branch to the upstream as well? And if so, I don't know. I just don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. So
okay. So do you want to do a pair programming session with either Robert or I, so that we can all figure that out? Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. So maybe during this or afterwards in Slack, you can schedule that.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, because to me, that's exactly the kind of thing where you just step through it with somebody really quickly and you see it, as opposed to trying to
put it in writing and stuff.
Yeah, Google through Stack Overflow and figure out, oh, that person really didn't know what they were talking about anyway. And okay. Robert?
Very short one from me too, because I lost my local repository. And of course, in between backups. So yeah, I'm just starting again for the rest of the sprint.
Okay.
Hopefully you hadn't checked in too much when you destroyed it.
Yeah, well, actually I did. I did my my seeding PR and a bit of the PR of Ashley. So, but I'll just do it again. Probably it'll go quicker the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, just a second. I'll have to open the door.
Okay.
How are you, Ashley?
Good. Pretty good. I played around with my challah baking recipe.
Ah. I made challah for the first time. So on Saturday I made it, which is not the traditional day to be first time making challah.
Yeah, right, but you know, for me, making challah at all. So here's the way. Was it any good?
Yeah, it was. I need to tape the ends before I start plaiting them. Five strand plait, and I was kind of so I was surprised at myself, and I thought it was a little dry. So next time I'll vary it and see how I go.
Yeah, it does turn out dry without much dairy. And it depends if you use butter, olive oil, but good. So,
yeah. So hi again. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We were talking about baking since we already covered the weather.
Okay, cooking is a good one. Yeah.
So you were talking about you were finishing up your kind of stand up with your.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of doing it again, and then but no blockers.
Okay, good. So for mine, I was able to get a PR submitted that really had the whole package of doing the email service, but I think it's the email service, doing email. And so what that meant was primarily using the updated and official gem for Mailgun. And then I put in some, I went ahead and put in some code for the basic template for sending emails. So whenever SHF sends emails, I'm sure they'll want to have some footer and greeting and sign off. So I went ahead and put that in. And I put in some tests. Since this PR doesn't officially include an actual email that we're sending, the tests are a little bit bogus, but I think they're still worthwhile, making sure they're working and passing at this point before we add in any actual emails. So that PR is in there, needs to be reviewed. It's got a whole bunch of front-end CSS stuff that Houndbot didn't like.
Of course.
Of course. And so that's there. And then once that's done, we can move forward on getting the other emails actually working. And of course, we'll need Susanna to draft the text of those, but I think we're well on our way. So that's where I am.
Okay, I did. That's the work I did do that didn't get lost. Review your PR.
Good.
And the only thing is, I made a remark about the device mailer. Shouldn't we somehow integrate those two to get a look and feel that's the same for all our mails?
Yeah. Well, I just got an error from GitHub.
Yeah. I hope they didn't crash. That would really be a problem.
Update for a big chunk of the world. So yes, we'll need to make sure that we whatever templates we use are all working.
Yeah.
Sending from the right mailer, so it uses the right templates and has the right look and feel. Yeah.
It is possible to use one mailer, I think, just yours or just the device one.
Right.
I think the only problem is the from email address. We have to
make sure that's set.
Make sure that's no reply in the device one. Yeah.
Yeah, and we can set that appropriately in one of the config files, I'm sure. You just set it for the application as opposed to an individual, as opposed to the SHF mailer. You set it for the application mailer, and that way the device mailer will inherit the right config. So,
yeah.
Okay, so let me do some screen sharing. We'll step through Pivotal Tracker.
Yeah, just one question about the approving of the PRs, because now we only have one approval, with Patrick not being there. Perhaps Raphael, are you also approving the PRs or looking at them?
I'm not approving any PRs currently. I'm probably not the best person to ask currently. I'm still getting my head around everything. So,
well, the other thing is that Susanna will be working on the first.
Oh, okay.
And so and for this one in particular, I want her to review it since it has to do with layout and what it will say and all of that stuff. Okay, so here's here's the pivotal tracker. And so we talked about this email service that I'm working on, the email one, so that needs approval. The next one is company information fields, and I haven't done any work on that. So that's still as it was. And the same with the bug. If a brand new member who's just been approved logs in and wants to edit their company, the address fields aren't shown. So hopefully I can get to that next. That one's next on my list. Patrick's on vacation, so this investigating is still same state. Cannot change the language in the membership application form. So Robert, you're going to resubmit that?
Yeah, yeah, and I did Patrick's. Patrick had some remarks about combining two step definitions.
Right.
And
that would be great.
And there were a few tests that were failing, but it were just minor changes. So I'll see. I'll try to get that up today or tomorrow.
Great. And I should be able to review that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
That we can get back.
Yeah, because it's mostly your code.
Well. Okay, and Laura's working on the social media links, so she's waiting for information from Susanna. This one, what emails are sent with membership application changes. This is really at this point waiting for more feedback, or actually more input from others, including Susanna. So this is the documentation matrix we have in the wiki. The forgot password email in Heroku.
That's been done.
That's ready, right? So we'll be able to review it with the client. Navigation menu. So this must still be being worked on.
I think Patrick said he started on it.
Right.
But yeah.
Right, and that's fine. The seating, so you'll get back to this week?
Yeah, that was almost done, but
what a drag, but okay.
Yeah.
And then Raphael, you're working on this spike, and so
yes.
We'll figure out after this meeting, you can pair with one of us at some point, and we'll get the Git process workflow shown to you, smoothed out.
Awesome. I mean, I do have a couple of questions about whether the work I've done fulfills that or not, but I'll cover that off in the pairing session, I think.
Yeah.
Did you get any problems with the tests?
The one problem I'm having is that all of the JavaScript tests have a confirm dialog at some point occurring, and it's handled one way in Poltergeist, and you can't handle it the same way in Chrome, and I'm not sure how to handle it, and I'm getting a few errors around that. So I don't know if I have to turn on pop-ups or what in Chrome, or it just tells me that the dialog wasn't found. But yeah.
Right. I remember running into some of that, and Robert, maybe you have too.
I haven't seen that yet, but I can understand that it happens. Yeah.
Right. So, do you think, Robert and Raphael, do you think handling that with maybe some hook code?
Sure. Obviously, the steps definition for the handling of the pop-up needs to be taken care of.
Right.
The hook code, though, like the Selenium and the Selenium browser, one's Chrome headless and the other one's Chrome with head, with display. Those tags are all working fine. It's just handling that step that's
right.
problematic.
Right.
Okay.
So following the right step, depending on which.
Which if you're using a Poltergeist browser or whether you're using a Selenium browser, exactly.
Right. Right. Okay. That's good to think about. Okay, so Laura gave us her update with the Google Analytics, and I noticed that Federico claimed this, even though we're not ready to do this. So I think what I'll do is after this meeting, I'll send him a message in Slack and ask him what his thoughts are on this. And it might be that he can do some initial work on it. We'll find out. I guess I was thinking a little bit about this when I saw that this morning, that he had claimed this, that should we I haven't checked. Do we have it documented anywhere that before claiming something, you need to talk about it either in Slack or in a meeting with us?
Yeah, you told them already twice, I think, but it doesn't seem to
stick.
To register.
Yeah. Okay. And that's one of the issues with having an open source project and having a small team, is that you don't have time to document everything completely and fully before it's ready to be claimed.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any thoughts about how to handle that for somebody else who might want to come in and claim something. Yeah.
Shouldn't we somehow ask people to at least attend one meeting before starting a chore or starting a feature?
That would make sense to me. Raphael, what do you think?
It sounds fair. This guy's, I'm assuming, hasn't been communication. He's just pulling stuff off the queue and working on it. Right. So maybe just to say, hey, come along to a meeting just so we can discuss.
That's what we did already a few times. Yeah, it's
All right. Well, I'll try.
I'll try not to make the same mistakes.
Well,
no, it's.
I think that's the key, is that when you're in communication about something you want to work on, that's the key, whether it's in a meeting or in Slack or whatever. Okay, well.
And it's a bit of a pity because he started 2 or 3, which we had to take back. So I hope we can leave this one with him.
Right.
But if it was the first one he tried, I would say no. Let's give him another one. But...
Right. Okay, well.
You don't want him to turn him off from doing work, but you say, hey, just make sure that this is ready first, I guess.
Yes, that's.
So, okay, I'll keep thinking about that, and I'll send him a message. We can all try and talk with him on Slack and see if that works. That's the best we can do, I think. Okay, so then these are the ones that have not been started. Check the controller.
Okay, yeah.
So is this,
I actually did start it, but and the answer is yes. So it should also be solved.
okay, so you'll just make additional chores or bugs as needed.
Yeah.
And we'll.
Or do you mind if I just change this one? Because yeah, all the other controllers are affected. So
Sure. To me, that makes sense. To go ahead and alter this one or work under this one if it.
Yeah. Okay.
We have some language changes for Susanna when she's back. Writing up the information we found out. I still want to work on this, and I know that the longer we get away from it, the more this certainly is out of my head. So that just still hangs there. Need more information. I know Susanna's still working on this. Membership application, hitting the enter button when the admin is entering a custom reason field. I haven't worked on this at all.
I seem to remember we talked about that one the last time.
Yes.
Was it really needed?
Patrick said, Patrick said he thought it was working fine, but I haven't verified that it's working. And if somebody, Raphael, did you want to?
No, I was just going to ask you, there was some little label there, reasons waiting.
Yes.
And I was just going to inquire about that label.
So when, down here?
Yes.
So this is mostly me. I tend to use labels here in Pivotal Tracker to group, to show how tasks are related.
Mm-hmm.
In Pivotal Tracker, on the project, we haven't really been working with things like milestones a lot or epics. But in Pivotal Tracker, using labels is essentially the way to accomplish that. So I had been working on this task as well as others to implement this feature, which is an administrator can enter a custom reason as why they're waiting for an applicant. They can either pick from a drop-down list of reasons or enter text.
Mm-hmm.
So I had just personally made up this label and all the different features and chores I was working on that were related to that. I put this in. So that's it. As a group, as a project, we aren't using labels a lot, except for sprints. So if you're working on a number of chores, and you'd like to create a label for it, my personal view is that's just fine to do. That's it.
Yeah, I guess I was just more curious about the meaning of this label per se, reasons waiting, but that refers to the customs reasons, or
yes, yeah. So the feature in general is that a member or an applicant submits their membership application, and then the administrator needs to review it. And sometimes there's a back and forth. If we have some documentation in the wiki that states that a membership application can go through. So one of the states is that we need more information from the applicant. Maybe they didn't fill out a field or something needs to be clarified. And so the client wanted to have a list of typical reasons why we're waiting for more information. But it may also be the case that there's a specific, that the administrator needs to enter a specific reason, just enter text. So that's the feature for this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That,
I think I've followed the rationale here and what it's saying.
Yeah, I think I over answered it a lot. And
That's okay.
so I would suggest one is that you can look in the wiki for that state machine diagram or read more about membership application. And then also when you run the application, if you log in as the administrator and go in and change the state of an application, I think you'll see that too. Okay, then the other two here is the semaphore organization. So I haven't worked on this at all. So this is, I need to work with Laura and Susanna, making sure that the right person owns the project so far as semaphore, our continuous integration tool, is concerned. We've had some problems with that. And then also I need to make sure that backups are added to the Capistrano deploy script so that if the application needs to be deployed from scratch, that is set up appropriately. And I haven't worked on that at all either. So as a whole, I think most of our work is still up here in the ongoing tasks.
Yep.
And then, so I think between now and Thursday, it sounds like we'll all be working on these tasks up here. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Anything else then? Just trying to keep this kind of focused and short.
No. Is this the end of sprint 2020 this week?
I don't know. Let me see if I can switch up to the wiki. I believe it will be.
Yeah.
Oh, what was this? Yes, the end of the sprint. So
Yeah. Okay, so we can Thursday we can move them to sprint 21 if they're not finished yet.
yeah, I think that
Okay.
I like to do it that way. Okay, if that's it.
I have a report.
Oh, hello, she's in.
Hey, Susanna.
Hello.
Hey, welcome.
I have to report that I haven't gotten the text from Bella.
Okay.
So I'm still waiting on that.
Okay, so there are some other things that I don't know if you've had a chance to.
No, I started my computer like 5 minutes ago for this week.
Okay. Well, and you said you'd be back the 1st, so you're still ahead. So when you are ready to pop in, we've set aside some of the translation things here for you.
Yes, I saw.
Okay, good. Good. Well, did you want to go through any of the other tasks, Susanna, or my sense is you just wanted to pop in quickly and do that?
Yeah, I looked at the time and was like, oh my God. But I wanted to say hi.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you're here, and you're in your new to you house, all moved in.
My desk neighbors.
Nice. Everybody's, all your creatures are there.
Yes, where the little brown one is, he's waiting by the stairs.
Aha. Good. Well, you missed my nannering on. There's one. Good. We missed to talk about weather, and we even started to talk about baking. So.
Oh.
You know,
I did baking today. I did chocolate chip banana muffins.
Oh my God, we'll be right there.
It's my last day of carbs. Tomorrow ends all carbs. So yeah.
Carbs are good.
Famous last words.
Yeah, that's well. I'll have to up my intake of carbs, which is easy, so that the amount of carbs in the universe stays constant. And I'll add that as a chore for me. Okay, so Patrick's on vacation, Susanna. But
Good for him.
yeah, he'll be back. I put it in the wiki, but I can't remember which day he'll be back. Next Monday, I think. Okay, well, we'll wrap this up. I'll check it in Slack. Raphael, if you want to do pair programming, that's good. Or Robert, you two want
Yeah, who's up for pairing with me? And should we stay on this call or just go to a Jitsi or something?
I'm up for it if you want to.
Sure. Okay. I might set up just a separate little Jitsi. It won't be saved to YouTube unless you want it to be.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, good. And then I'll see if I can send messages to Francis. And then I'll be around in and out today too. So great. Okay, thanks everybody. Good to see you, Susanna. And everybody stay cool and eat carbs or not. All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.